Have you ever wished you could just wave a magic wand and force people to remember your videos for a long time, maybe even for years? The bad news is I don't have that magic wand. Here's the good news. I recently hung out with Tim Schmoyer from Video Creators.
Well, we're talking to Mr. Hollywood himself. At least I'll call you that.
Hey, I've answered it far worse. It's all good, man.
I'll call you Mr. Hollywood.
And we talked about all sorts of ways to take the things that I've learned in my career and apply them to how we create on YouTube, including ideas on how to make videos that people actually do remember. Howdy, Jeff Bartsch here with Story Greenlight, and welcome to Southern California in the winter, where it gets dark at 4 in the afternoon. Seriously, no matter how long I'm out here, I never get used to that. Story Greenlight is all about helping creators like you and me tell the stories that we care about the most. So if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a single video. Now, when it comes to telling our stories, how cool would it be if we actually could know what our people will remember and what they won't? Now, thankfully, you don't have to be a mind reader for that. Tim and I talked about some ideas to make that happen.
I'm asking Jeff to give us some of the behind-the-scenes tips and tactics for television storytelling that we can use on YouTube, because he is a YouTube creator himself as well. You guys can subscribe to his channel.
One of the big things I think about a lot is the idea of creating memorable moments. The poet Maya Angelou said, one of my favorite quotes, she says, "I've learned that people will forget what you did, they will forget what you said, but people will never forget how you made them feel." When you create a moment, when you create a feeling in people, that is emotional superglue. That is what bonds people together. Just like relating as human beings, we remember moments sometimes for years, sometimes for the rest of our entire lives. And so I often, when I'm cutting this stuff, I know, just like on YouTube, there are a lot of videos that are gonna not be home runs. And that's just the way it is. And there are but even like when you do have a video that you think is gonna be really good, or if I'm cutting a package on an athlete that I think has the potential to really resonate and be memorable, often it comes down to one moment. And that actually gives me freedom to say, I'm going to put some more time, I'm going to put some more energy into working on this one little section right here. Because if I do my job right, it's all going to lead up to this one moment, and everyone's going to be like, whoa, yeah, that story about the gal who did that one thing. And it's that one moment that jumps out and sticks in people's mind. If you have that feeling in your gut about that one moment that you think is super cool, put a little extra time, put a little extra energy into that, and you will be surprised how people latch onto it.
Yeah, the emotional part is what gets people coming back and watching more. It's what gets them to watch longer on your videos. It's what leads to more watch time. Good information, like oh, I learned something, that's cool. Well, you can grow a channel on that. I'd argue I've grown my channel on that so far today, even currently right now in this very conversation. We're just giving good information. But I'm challenging myself, as you guys I hopefully are too, to how do we wrap this around a story that makes people feel something? That emotional attachment is what makes a difference. Far more important than any sort of perfect tag optimizations or anything like that. If you can get people to feel something, absolutely, that's hashtag winning right there.
Now, this was just a tiny part of all the stuff that Tim and I talked about. So if you want to see another part of that conversation, when that video is ready, it will pop up right here. And if you want to see the whole stream, you can check that out right here. And I will see you in the next video.